this show.
Yeah.
So they start off this with Uatu taking his oath. And I'm not gonna lie, the cut they made from the past to the future made me laugh really, really fucking hard.
Oh,
I promise I will never fail you. You have failed me!
I love Gillian cuts like that.
That and the Reed Richards, some girl named Madison with 2 N's and 1 Y. How that one joke became so much more. Oh God. We were just talking about how you can't have things of like this without having them be animated because the budget would be ridiculous.
The budget for this episode in live action it would tank like any of the major studios.
This is an Avengers movie in an episode of 30 minutes.
Yep.
And I'm not saying this episode probably wasn't cheap to produce as it was in animated form, but this was ridiculous. They pulled out all of the stops for this because holy shit. And everyone's like, I don't want to see whatever. And there was some comment where their big takeaway from this is that they don't want, at the end of this, they don't want Birdie showing up in the Fantastic Four. What did I miss?
Natasha Lyonne does have a role in Fantastic Four.
Oh, okay.
That's why people are connecting those two dots.
Okay. Well, I doubt, again, they're going to have bestiality in the actual MCU, people. So I think we can calm down. But if we got it and it was Birdie, I'd be okay. Even if she's there for 2 minutes. Because in case you're wondering, we have some weird things in the MCU. It's almost like it's comic books. As crazy as that is to accept some days, weird stuff happens. I don't think I need to go through another Spider-Man Reign-esque arc of a rant again about how stupid comics can be. Mm-hmm. A child between a duck and a human is not that far down on the stupidness scale. Go look up Snowflame and then get back to me. Anyway,
You know what this reminded me of? I don't know if you remember kind of towards the end of Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run, when the Guardians just kind of said, you know what, we give up. Humanity sucks. You're all going to die.
Yeah. It's one of those things where, yeah, you just I hate it all. So, most of this episode is just the fight, which, again, the fight is awesome. Because holy shit, I would not have thought to do half of the things they did in this. Anyone who complains about this crew of people being the last part of the fight for the awesome shit they pulled off, just stop watching things. We don't need your opinion. Because if you thought this was dull, I don't often say people's opinions should be invalidated. You just literally hate women if you thought this was a sucky fight.
Agreed.
You
don't deserve your eyes if you think that.
I'm gonna say the line, Bart. You don't deserve women. At this point, you just don't. Because Kahori, Birdie, Peggy, and Storm were fucking phenomenal in this fight. Mm-hmm. Ay. So, we, again, have most of the fight being this thing, and then they, again, because, the Watcher's got a Watcher, he's gotta have his one moment of heart, and they start showing throughout this whole, because I could go beef for beef through this entire fight, and it's just gonna be me saying the cool thing happened with the cool person at the cool time. But, I did like how they went out of their way to do some really stupid shit, like when that one, I don't know who it was, but it was one of the Eminence's lackeys, makes himself giant, is going to shoot a beam at her, then Corey just becomes giant along with him and punches him in the face.
That's kind of stupid shit I live for.
Or like when Peggy's shield gets sliced, but it was on purpose, and she uses two to bat the living shit out of him. Oh, it's fantastic. But one thing that they did that I thought was great is they then go, every version of you from every universe is going to be destroyed. And you start seeing versions of Kahori and Peggy flashing by on the screen. And the two most notable ones were Kahori becoming Forge and Kahori becoming Apocalypse.
Yeah.
And then Peggy, you had her becoming the Black Knight. You had one where she was Sabretooth, one where she was Elektra, one where she was Colossus, and one where she becomes Thor. But, yeah, and so, the light shines even though the star is gone, is a quote we got from not some well-renowned scientific genius or great poet. It was from Shadow the Hedgehog, which we got to see on a moon looking over a sunrise coming up. And I didn't think that 2 weeks later we were going to get another one of people looking at the sunrise. And it was Uatu and the Eminence looking over it and going, "It's beautiful, isn't it? It's just a sunrise. What something is not the same as what it means, but to understand that, you will need to do more than simply watch. You must see."
That dialogue is why I think we'll actually be okay with X-Men 97 seasons 2 and 3.
Yeah. And I'll be extra okay with it considering that Bo DeMaio is going out of his way now to go, yeah, these episodes are trash. This writing is just ridiculous. And it makes me think that I don't think that Bo DeMaio had much that do with the actual cool parts of the writing. Because these are lines that characters that were in that show would say.
Yeah.
But yet he thinks they're stupid. I almost wonder why he's not working with them anymore.
I think he is just
a piece of shit.
A salty piece of shit.
Good lord. Every day he opens his mouth, it shows the more guilty that he is. I've never seen a person more determined to make himself look unemployable in my life than this guy. Good God. He is a salty piece of shit. But, yeah, I like that they make Peggy into, I guess, the ultimate watcher or whatever at the end. Sending off her shield to go off and do whatever, the feeling like someone's watching over me for the first time, making their very first what if character that they basically built the show off of, becoming this great person's getting their Avengers Endgame level send off.
Yeah, that's honestly exactly what it feels like.
Yeah, it's really well done. It is. And I really don't got much else to say, unless you do, and then I'm going to go through the things we saw at the end, and I'm going to throw shade at whoever writes for Screen Rant is a moron, but go ahead.
Yeah, before you get there, I just want to reiterate one last time. I really don't want this show to end.
I don't either.
I know why Marvel thinks they need to end this. I get that they're veering away from the multiverse, and probably after Secret Wars they're going to be like, okay, we're focusing on mutants and we're going to stay there for a while. Mm-hmm. But man, this show is just so good. And when we get to the end of the episode, when Uatu basically recites the intro,
does the anime intro plays at the end, but it's insane. Yep.
like, I see all those cool like flashing images, and I'm just like, you mean to quote Kevin Garnett from Uncut Gems, why the fuck would you show me this if I can't have it?
Exactly. It's unreal. It's just so much of, hey, we could have done 7 more seasons of this and not even remotely ran out of ideas, because these are just literal ideas ripped from comics and not even stuff we're making up for most of these. Like the Sixth Arm Saga Spider-Man, it's one of the ones where he couldn't get rid of his arms. It was from a 1992 image. A Samurai Ghost Rider, a Punisher Ironheart. I would have watched the shit out of that.
Same.
Witch Gamora, just cause. Moon Knight Blade, which Blade showed up in What If before his own movie. Thanos Vereen, which also we need to show up that I guess that no one at in an interview they found out that no one at Marvel let the guy who was doing season 3 know that he had access to Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, or he would have used him.
What?
Apparently. Kingo Iron Man.
I saw that one. That was
Wasp,
interesting.
Wasp, Mrs. Marvel, the Kamala Miss Marvel, Sorcerer Maestro Hulk, Scarlet Witch Howard the Duck, Demon Hawkeye, demonic Hawkeye who prepares to shoot an arrow out of his bow. And I just need to show, hey Mike, if I show you this image, does this make you think Dazzler?
No. Well, no.
It's almost like, the hair and the pink glasses and the jacket and the fireworks almost are not even remotely Dazzler.
Can I say who?
It's Jubilee!
Yeah.
What are you doing, Screen Rant? A quick Google would have fixed this. What are we doing? But anyway, we'll keep going. Skrull Captain America, which, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't this just Super Skrull, basically?
Basically.
Yeah, so, but, old-timey Dane Whitman and Circe, which would have been cool.
Yeah.
Deadpool used whatsoever.
Did they say anything about not being able to use Deadpool? I know why he couldn't show up in X-Men 97.
I don't think there is, because this is a still. You're still showing Deadpool on screen. How and what if do we not get the character that would have broken the fourth wall to look directly at the emissary, go, what are we doing? And to not have a monologue about all the dumb ideas they didn't get to do yet. Young Hela, don't know what that would have done or what, but Star-Lord as Shang-Chi using the 10 rings.
Interesting.
Classic Lady Loki. And I don't know if this is a thing, because I don't remember that amalgam version from the
Me neither.
comics. But yeah, that's something that I'm sure that they came up with in literally a day of just talking about ideas that they could put forward, and then just didn't get a chance to write for them yet. You can't tell me they didn't have a folder of ideas they thought that were good enough for an episode that they have saved.
Yeah. I need to. I haven't been watching the Marvel Assembled documentaries, but I need to watch this one.
Yeah, I haven't seen them for any, but I'm interested in looking at this one.
Actually, I lied. The only other one I watched was for X-Men 97.
Oh yeah, this was just really good. I'm gonna miss this show so damn much.
Yeah, me too.
And I appreciate that they pulled out the stops and gave it a real, because they typically don't have a ton of fights in these. This season 3 did, but most of them are kind of just what would happen if blank happened, and then they just go through the episode, have fights every now and then kind of just play the storyline mostly. This one had
the fights are usually in like the finales where they have to do something like big.
yeah, and they really went out of their way with this one, which was awesome. So I appreciate that. I just, like I said, I'm gonna miss it. So yeah. Anyway, one last time for What If, Mike. Where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me on various social media sites at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterbox.com/CoachK42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Blue Sky at Ren Pop Culture. You can also find us on YouTube, on Podchaser. Consider supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we.
Absolutely. And you can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero, mainly on Twitch and YouTube, unless you were into things like cosplays and conventions, in which you can follow me at my Instagram. Until next time, we will see you all later. Bye! Peace.